My name is Valerie Perez. I am the community liaison, but I also lead the after school and summer program in-house that doesn't deal with sports. So my testimony is a rough one. I was a single mother. I got into using drugs, and due to that, I lost my children for 2 years. In those 2 years, I went back to church. I regrounded myself in God, and really started just refocusing my life and my life's purpose. And after the 2 years getting my children back, they are thriving. They are amazing. I've been married now, a homeowner. We are doing amazing as a family. I just think God intervened when he knew he needed to. He took away everything because he knew that I wasn't living right. I wasn't focused on him. I was being selfish, and the only way for him to get through to me on what he wanted from me and for my life was for him to take those away from me. So I had no choice but to focus on him. I don't know if I was called to Lord's Gym Ministries itself as much as I wanted to be somewhere where I could speak about my faith and I could speak about my love of God, and I didn't have to worry about tiptoeing around my faith or around what I believed in, because I can openly talk about it. And it just so happened while I was in between working on one grant at Children's through La Soup that I then met Danny there, and I was like, oh, I want to work in a ministry. I want to work somewhere where I can just talk about my God and my love for him and what he's done in my life. And that got the connection for me to be here in Lord's Gym Ministries, and I absolutely love it. I don't plan on going anywhere. I plan on staying as long as they let me be here, but being able to share what I've went through as a parent, as an adult, and help people who may be just a few steps behind me in their process. You feel like accomplished, like you're doing something with a purpose, you're doing something that is really impacting someone's life, that they're not just a check mark, but building that relationship and building that understanding of their life and what's going on so that you can properly help them and motivate them, all while doing that with sharing the love of God with them and how God can impact their journey if they so welcome him and to be a part of that. And I get to do the same with the kids, so I get to hang out with the kids and teach them about God and teach them about, what he wants for them and how he loves them. And I get to see them grow. So in Bible studies, the children want to pray. The children are asking to be the one, I guess, to say the prayer before we come upstairs. They are asking, can I read? I want to read this part. So they're really engaged with the Bible studies, with the prayer. And for some of these children, they are the only one that's bringing this in their household. So I love to see their growth. I love to see that they are invested in the Bible studies and asking for Bibles to take home because they don't have one and they want to read it. So just the impact across the board in my roles within Lord's Gym is like continuously getting to see the growth, and through seeing the growth in the adults and the children, it's like, this is where I know I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be here. This is why I'm here, and the impact that I'm having with the little conversations I have with the adults, or the impact I'm having with the children and their self-control and their social skills and their homework, bringing in things, showing their accomplishments. Like it's beautiful, and it's just, I feel like I'm actually where I'm supposed to be. And I felt that other places, but being somewhere where not only am I being spiritually fed, but being able to spiritually feed into other people, like you don't get that everywhere, but in a ministry. And not all ministries are equal in certain areas either. So, but this is the only ministry I've worked in, so I don't know. I love it. I don't know if it's because of being at Lord's Gym, but I'm in seminary school. And I got into seminary school because I wanted to make sure I wasn't causing any more harm when I'm speaking of God or spreading the gospels to others and answering their questions about the Bible. A lot of our friends and even children that we serve, they have a lot of hurts around churches. You know, they have a lot of hurt around, well, God said this or God said that, and you're going to go to hell. You know, they hear those things all the time. So I wanted to make sure that while I'm answering questions and while I'm guiding people through the Gospels, that I'm doing so in a way that isn't going to add to any of the hurt that they've received around God or faith or spirituality. So many different things that I've called it, but I want to make sure that I am a safe space for them to always come and ask questions, and that when they get an answer, it's strictly going to be from God, and that I know how to answer them lovingly and with care, and they're going to walk away feeling like they've gotten the answer they needed to move forward. I've also, my children more so have really grown since being here, because they're a part of the cycling club with Scott. They're a part of the after school program. They've worked here with us. And I've seen tremendous growth in my own son. And, you know, he went from going just to our church to now doing a Bible study at church during the week. And then he goes to church, and then he goes with Coach Henry to a church that he works at now too. So he's so involved, and it's on his own choice. I don't force him to go to anything extra other than church on Sundays mornings, but he wants to go and be a part of these other youth groups. And so he has grown spiritually since me working here. And I know my growth in God has changed, and it looks different since being here. It's not so legalistic. It's more like we're called to do what God wants us to do, and we're supposed to live according. But there is grace, and there is so much mercy, and there is so much room for you to grow and get things right, that it doesn't have to be perfect from the start. So I've got a lot more information because I work with pastors. You know, there's 3 pastors that I have at beck and call whenever I need advice or help or support. And so that's really helped having pastors work alongside me to where they can guide me in a loving, caring way to ensure that I am keeping with my journey with God and an appropriate relationship with Him, and understanding that it's not about always getting it right, but it's the knowing that I can try again tomorrow and be forgiven, and really put forth the effort of trying to do better with every day. So there's that growth, which is awesome too, right?